Greetings again from IAS. We are reporting from IAS, our university here in Silang, Cavite, Philippines. We want to welcome back those who are watching online, those who are watching on TV, on YouTube. We want to thank you for being with us today. Today we are exploring a topic of the moment, that is Christmas around the world. And I've invited friends from different parts of the world to tell us how they celebrate Christmas in their parts of the world. But before that, I just want to give a disclaimer that views and opinions expressed here, they only belong to our participants. They don't reflect IAS. So if you have something you disagree with, please do not write to IAS, write to us. And we'll be sharing with you our email address at the end of the program. To start our program this afternoon, I want you to introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing here, and maybe how long you've been here. Let's start with the first person on my left.
Okay, my name is Edgar Vesco. I am from Argentina, which is in the south of South America, almost before
It is the south of South America.
In the south of South America.
Okay,
Yes.
Very good. Is that like the end of the world?
Almost like that, yes. So I'm studying here a PhD in education since 1 year and a half, yes.
Very good. Welcome, Edgar. We're very happy that you have made it all the way from Argentina. Let's go north of your country. Tell us who you are and where you're from and what you're doing here.
Yes, my name is Rudy Sanchez Garcia. I am from Mexico, and I am doing Old Testament. And we have 4 years in Philippines.
Very good. So I don't know, when you think about Latin America, well, I know you're not part of Latin America, you're part of North America. But there's this big group we call Latino, and I think you will belong to share the same thing. You know, the question is always who's better than the other one on soccer games. Okay, I hear that it's Brazil here in the room. We hear that it's Brazil. Until Brazil lost a couple of years ago. So we will have a game maybe tomorrow to see. We'll have our Brazilian fellows here on the campus and the Argentinians and Mexicans play. We'll see who is going to win to make a point. But let's go to the other part of the world, another far end of the world. Please tell us who you are and where you're from.
I am Saned Lubani, and I come from Malawi. Malawi is in a southeastern part of Africa. We are neighbors with Zambia, Mozambique, Tanzania in the north. And Malawi is popularly known as the warm heart of Africa. If you want to know where the warm heart is, come to Malawi. Wow. We've been here in the Philippines for a year now. Okay. And I'm doing a PhD in the New Testament.
Welcome, Pastor Lubani. I'm really surprised that there's another heart of Africa. Because as far as I'm concerned, the heart of Africa is Congo. So there's the heart of Africa and the warm heart of Africa.
This is the warm. You are simply the heart.
All right. Okay, let's go to another far end of the world. You know, when you get to this place, you are in the farthest east of the world. Where is that?
Well, I'm from the Philippines. I'm Mayan Baragona. And Joshua mentioned a while ago that Haiti is known to be the pearl of the Caribbean, but Philippines is known to be the pearl of the Orient.
Oh, wow. Nice. I think the Haitians and Filipinos need to get together and settle the matter. All right, let's go to the next question. And that we know who you are. Actually, as you look at that map, you have South America, North America, Southern Africa, and east of Asia. We have kind of covered the whole world. We just needed somebody from probably Russia to cover the whole 4 corners of the world. What comes to mind when somebody says Christmas? Or you hear that first Christmas song the first time in the year? What comes to your mind? Let's start with May-Ann.
Yeah, hey, vacation.
Oh, okay.
That would be the first thing that comes into my mind. But I guess if I really think about it, the thing that would come into my mind is Jesus Christ being born, coming to the earth and being born.
Very good, very good. Let's go to the next person.
As soon as you mention Christmas, to me and to an average Malawian, we are talking about celebrating God's gift of giving. The reason why I'm saying this is simply because Malawi is predominantly Christian. 80% of the population is Christian. So Christmas to Malawians is very basic. So celebrating God's gift of giving and exchange of gifts is something which you see on Christmas, and it's everywhere.
You're going ahead of me. We're going to come back to that and think about another answer. But let's hear from Mexico. Christmas. When somebody says Christmas, what clicks to your mind immediately?
I have some ideas about this. One of these is a gift. And also the time to fellowship our parents and also relatives. I am from the south of Mexico, and my wife belongs to the north of Mexico. And for us, Christmas is time to go to the north of Mexico and visit our relatives there. When we think about Christmas, vacation.
Okay. I don't know if you want to go north while you're here. If you go north, you'll go to a place that's a little colder. Just like Mexico, if you come from southern Mexico to go to the north, it's a little colder in the north, right?
Yes, it's, Sonora is
Yes.
bordered with Arizona.
Yes. So that's a little cold there
Yes.
compared to the south, which is close to Belize. Corrales, I think there's a little place there called... Anyways, we're going to come back to that. I've been to that little place. Okay. Argentina. When somebody says Christmas, that comes to your mind. What comes to your mind?
Okay, thinking in Christmas is a lot of ice cream, fruit salad, and I'm sorry, a lot of fireworks also in our country. Sorry for you, Dr. Safari.
I've practiced a lot. I think I can go to Argentina now.
Excellent. And of course, family time and a lot of noise inside of our house. And it's a great opportunity also to reach out people with Jesus' love.
Let's get things clear about Malawi. How do people celebrate Christmas in Malawi? Now that we know that the majority of them are Christians, we would expect you guys to have like one of the best celebrations of Christmas. How do you celebrate Christmas in Malawi?
Thank you so much. The first thing which you're going to note as soon as you visit Malawi is that cities are deserted on Christmas. So you can go to the mall, but the likelihood that you'll be alone in KFC is so high. Really? Yes. So what Malawians do on a Christmas, they would go to their home villages. Now, when they go to their home villages, the first thing they'll do in the morning is dress up in their nice Christmas clothes, and they'll go to church. There normally there will be a sermon, some offerings, and a Christmas play that is about the birth of Jesus. And after that, they come back home and they will have their hearty meal. Okay, if they haven't gone back to the village to celebrate with the larger family, most of them who are not really concerned about being Christian, they'll go to the lake. We have a beautiful lake in Malawi, and during Christmases, we have what we call the Lake of Stars celebration. So it begins from the 24th up to 26th. They'll be there, they'll not be in the chalets. They'll simply be along the lake, and different musicians will be singing, and they'll simply be enjoying themselves. So these are the things you're going to see in Malawi. It's family time, families being together, exchanging gifts, and those who cannot manage to go to the mall to buy something very fancy, they can do something like put maize flour in a basin, put some eggs, and they will take a small piece of cloth, cover their gift and take it on their heads and visit a certain family and share with them a family gift as small and as basic as that.
That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. And I think we are all learning a few things that we can improve on our own culture, because there's no perfect culture. We can all improve on things. Let's try Argentina. How is Christmas celebrated there?
Okay, maybe we need to think in geography, because geography actually shapes the culture. Okay. We are in the southern hemisphere, so December is summer there. And 1 week before Christmas, all the academic year is end, so everybody is in summer vacation. Actually, for us, Christmas is not the big party. It's just the window or the main gate toward the parties. Because 1 week later will be New Year and then family vacations for summer. So, yes, Christmas is a moment to gather as a family, but it's, actually the greeting is different. It's not Merry Christmas. The people will greeting you as happy festivities, something like that. Because it's like the entrance of a time, of a season of festivity. And of course, with the Latino style, so we don't speak, we shout each other. And we don't sit around the table, we actually speak about 7 topics at the same time, shouting each other, kissing each other, hugging and touching. This is the Latino style, and this is family style.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Okay, I think a few cultures from the East, especially from Asia, they will have some culture shock there, you know, being hugged and touched. It may be a little uncomfortable, but we need to practice while you're still here. We'll start touching you and hugging you sometimes. Very good. Let's go to the Philippines. I know we talked about this in another session, what we have experienced here in the Philippines, but I want to hear from a Filipino. How is Christmas celebrated here, other than starting the celebration on September 1? What else should we know about celebration? If I'm invited on a Christmas day, how should I behave? What is expected from me as a guest? Something like that. Please teach us.
Well, what happens is that Filipinos become one-day millionaires. So what we do is that we spend so much money during Christmas that by the end of the year or the next year, we're broke, we're literally broke. And we don't care as long as we have fun together as a family. You know, Philippines is a very family-oriented country. So that, and then we also have this thing called Noche Buena. It means good night. Good night or Christmas Eve, basically. It is where the families come together to eat what they have cooked, you know, and then during midnight they go to church, especially the Roman Catholics, because Philippines is, you know, the dominant religion here is Roman Catholic, and Filipinos go to church and have mass. Yes, and then afterwards they come together as family and have festival. They eat together.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned fun. You know, that word fun is always loaded. How is fun experience during Christmas in the Philippines?
Well, fun and experience, it's like children become rich and adults become poor. So children really, they are very eager to have for Christmas to come because they know that, you know, their parents, their uncles, their aunties will give them money. While of course, the adults, they have to, you know, give money, so.
Okay, if I'm a foreigner and I'm invited at your house, what is expected from me?
Just enjoy yourself. Yes, just come and eat. Filipinos are very hospitable, especially with food. Just come and eat, really, and then just be yourself, share whatever you have.
Am I expected to give gifts for every member of the family, for example?
It depends. If you're a guy or a girl trying to win the family's heart, then I guess you're expected to, like, you know, give something to the family. But if you just come there as a visitor, then you don't have to bring anything, really.
So when you win a heart, it's a heart of the whole family, not just a heart of
like
one
for example,
individual.
you like a Filipino girl or a Filipino boy, then if you come visit the family during Christmas, you're expected to bring something.
Okay.
Yes.
And how large has that got to be? Do I bring a car, or just a greeting card can be enough?
Maybe you can bring fruits or cake or something like that. Yes.
You know, this is a time for us to learn, because I know we have some singles in the audience. Okay, let me repeat that. We have some singles in the audience, and we may want to learn proper ways of attending a Christmas party. All right, but we don't have to drink, because some of the cultures, there's drinking.
Drinking, Filipinos like to drink, especially non-Adventists.
Okay.
They like to drink from evening till morning, so
wow.
that's expected too.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Let's try Mexico. I lived with a number of Mexicans in Arizona. It was a lot of fun. Please tell me exactly how it is celebrated in Mexico, because I don't think it was authentic what they were doing in Arizona. How is it in a typical Mexican family or community? How do you celebrate?
If we celebrate Christmas as a Catholic tradition, it is very amazing. In Mexico, we have this tradition, novenario. Novenario is 9 days of pregnancy of Mary. From December 16 until December 24, 9 days. What does it mean? Each day, this is a processional. From in the town, in some area of the town, or in a small community, with songs, with instruments, and they share each day food. For example, it can be barbecue, but the most delicious of part of this tradition is tamales. We have the Filipino style, but the sticky rice. But this is corn. We prepare the dough, and then you will find a piece of turkey, or chicken, or beef, if you are not vegetarian. And this is only one part, and also have fireworks at the day. We have the Nochebuena in Mexico also, because this is the Catholic tradition. As a child, because I grew up as an Adventist, I knew a little about this. We say in Spanish, posadas. What means posadas? Lodging or accommodation for the processional. This is as a Catholic. But as an Adventist, we celebrate in a different way. How? We prepare sermons, especially Adventist church, as sermons to be preached once a year and to receive in the church of gratitude or thanksgiving. This is very special in the Adventist church.
You know, you have shared something that I experienced in the Caribbean, and I think it's related to this 9 days practice. In Puerto Rico, which is also a Spanish-speaking country, during this time, people will come to your house randomly. Everybody is supposed to have food during that time. I remember this happening to us on the university campus. Students like 50, 65, or 75 will just come and they will be drumming and singing and yelling and everything. And the first time it happened, you know, so what's going on? It's 3 a.m. 3 in the morning, people are singing and beating these drums. And the good thing is that it went to a neighbor first before us. So they didn't come to us. And the next day we were all upset because, you know, at 3 a.m. we want to be sleeping. I said, what was that about? Was it a birthday or something? I said, no, actually, when people come to your house, with all this, you have to feed all of them.
Yes.
And then from there, they go to another house. They'll do the same thing. That house, they have to feed them. You cannot say, I don't have food. Because everybody's supposed to know that anytime a group of people can show up. And so I see a connection between what was happening there and Mexico. And trust me, for the 2 years I was in Puerto Rico, around Christmas time, I gained a lot of weight. Because it's just food every day. Sometimes we'll be invited like 5 different families. You know, we here at 8, at 10 a.m. we're in another house, at 12 we're in another house, and you cannot say no, because that is the culture. I guess it is in preparation for the birth of Jesus. People have to eat a lot.
You need big stomach.
Very good. Have we gotten? Yes, we're done with that. let's go to the experiences that you have had. And I know these experiences about the Philippines. So I'm going to start here. I know, May Ann, you were in Japan recently. So you can relate to Japan. What experience have you had here in the Philippines that is completely different from where you come from? And in this case, May Ann, what did you see in Japan that is different from the Philippines? Let's start with Edgar.
I spent just one Christmas here in the Philippines and inside of Ayas campus, so this is not quite Filipino style, but for me is really different is how Christmas is almost half of the year. So you will enjoy during 5 or 6 months Christmas. So that for me was really new. The first time in my life seeing something like that. In my country, usually they start with the Christmas stuff in December 8th, but not in September. So for me, that was amazing.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. Pastor Rudy.
Yes, it is same. For me and for us, my wife observed this detail. When we went to SM, we saw the decoration in the different stores. September 1, but in Mexico is close to Argentina. Yes, this was different for us. And also the fireworks is similar to Mexico, but here is so amazing. Yes.
It's a lot more here than Mexico. Yes. All right. Let's try with Pastor Lubani.
Yes, I want to concur with my friends that since this is our first year here in the Philippines, we were also surprised to find that already in September there are decorations that are beginning to come up. In my country, you get into December, but it's around 15th, 16th. That's when you begin to feel that Christmas season is now setting in. But one notable thing which we saw is that in the Philippines, let's say, for example, if you go to SM Palapala and you want to eat out, you will have to queue for you to find a space in a restaurant to eat. So that's what happened. We arrived here on the 20th of December, and we're saying, okay, fine, we are lonely here. Let's go out to SM and just eat out and come back in the evening. We were shocked. The mall was packed was filled to the brim, and it was like, let's just go back home. And we are coming from a country where on a Christmas, if you go to the mall, you simply see people here and there. You can go there and just be yourself. You eat, you go. Because people are not used to, patronizing these public places. So that one hit us hard because we had to wait for close to an hour just to find a space for us four to sit. And, where we sat, we were like, we were, it was packed. The eating place was packed. So that one, yes. Wow. And the other thing is that here in the Philippines, Filipinos express themselves completely in as far as Christmas is concerned. Malawians on Christmas, fine, they celebrate Christmas, but they're a bit reserved. Okay, so they enjoy Christmas, yes, but in the Philippines, you go to the mall, you see people celebrating. Yeah. So that one we said, wow, we wish we could do like that. Sure, so these are the notable things which I saw.
Thank you so much. Japan.
Well, the thing I've noticed...
Looking at the Philippines from Japanese perspective or Japanese reality from the Philippine perspective.
Well, coming from the Philippines, I would say that Christmas in Japan is very, very quiet. They don't really celebrate Christmas. December 24, 25 for them is a normal day. It's a non-Christian country, so people sometimes they don't really see or understand the meaning of Christmas at all. But one thing though, if I ask my classmates, so what will you do for Christmas? Usually they say, we will get together with our families and eat cake, have cake, and then they have KFC chicken. I don't know why, but KFC chicken is a must for Christmas for many. Yes.
Did you learn to discover a few things about the Philippine culture you started looking at it and said, well, this is a little strange. Now that you were living in Japan, looking at the celebration of Christmas in the Philippines while you were in Japan, did you see something that could be improved or be
Here
changed?
in the Philippines. Yeah, definitely. I think Japanese people like to save money, so they don't like wasting money over celebrations and all, like something like that. So I think Filipinos can learn a lot from them when it comes to saving money, especially for the new year or for the next year. Yes.
And this is the beauty of United in Diversity. We get to learn from other cultures because no culture is perfect. It's only when you live in another culture that you start discovering a few things that are not so good about your own culture. Before you leave your culture, everything's perfect. We're going to jump to our last question, and the question is, as a community here at IS, what are some of the things that we should be doing during the Christmas season? Let's just call it Christmas season, not just on a Christmas day. During this time, the whole month of December, what are some of the things that we should be doing as a community at IS? Let's start with Pastor Lubani.
The first thing which I would want to see here at IAS is a big Christmas tree in the church. A big Christmas tree. And on that big Christmas tree, for us to express ourselves or to take part in God's gift of giving, we should put all sorts of gifts there. And after that, we can go out, give out those gifts to other people because we are celebrating God's gift of giving. So that's what I would want to see. I experienced that once when I was a student in Zimbabwe, Solusi University. I was shocked on a Christmas tree to find that the whole podium had gifts, and the next day these gifts were taken to the neighboring villages, and it was just amazing. The other thing which I would also want to see, we have had already enough concerts here on campus. And I'm asking, why can't we take these concerts to a barangay somewhere? Have these concerts in a barangay, in the barangay hall in Silang, and go to another barangay hall and just sing this beautiful music. Because there are people out there who have never seen these beautiful things we are just enjoying by ourselves here. So that's what I would want to see here at IAS.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Edgar, you want to add something?
Is similar, yes. Actually, I'm missing in my country the church usually in Christmas. There is a program as a whole church. The name is Love in Christmas. And the idea is to reach out to people in need. So going to hospitals or orphanage. And actually in several small cities, they get permission from the government and they set a long table in the middle of the big avenue and they feed the people from the streets, the homeless. So that kind of activities, showing love to others, I'm missing that. So maybe we can make more of that here at IS.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go to Sister Mayan.
Well, the way I see it, I think God has blessed IS so much that we have so much to give. And I think it is best for us to actually go out there and do outreach programs. We have been mentioning that. And maybe we can do a lot of things like hospital visitation, visiting orphanages, and doing just what they're doing right now, going to the jail and spending Christmas with them. I've experienced going hospital visitation on the 25th of December, and it has been such a blessing personally for me because you see the joy that the patients have. In the hospital, they actually, they feel really depressed. Some of them don't have money. Some of them, are sad that their family aren't there. But then us as Christians, going and spending Christmas with them, singing songs to them, and praying for them, it's just really, I saw tears coming to their eyes during that time, and it was very life-changing for me. Yes.
Wonderful. Pastor Rudy.
I think I am selfish.
We all are.
I think, for example, when I grew up, without this tradition in my home, because my dad never thought about this. But my wife has another view. And now with my children, my mind has changed. Especially in the Adventist church in Mexico, in some places we celebrate a program. We invite members of the community to join us. But this is also selfish, because we are inviting only to come with us. But I agree with Pastor Lubani that we need to go out and to reach out the people. And another thing that we can do as a community, also as a family, is to invite some friends or some single students to have a good meal on Nochebuena, on Christmas, with vegetarian food or no vegetarian food, and that they can taste love, because be here without families is very hard, very hard. I think we need to experience this.
Thank you so much. 4 lessons that we have learned as we conclude this session. Number 1, Christmas should be about family. We should get together. For those who have families with them, this is a time to disconnect from your books, from your assignments, from your dissertations, and spend some time with family. Second lesson we learned, this is a time to commune with the people of the community. In fact, even bringing 2 different communities together here at IAS, so that nobody is left behind. Those who don't have their families here, they will feel that they have a family away from home. Number 3, we need to be able to celebrate God's love, because He has given us another year and we are alive. So we need to have programs where we can celebrate His goodness through concerts, through sermons, through prayers. And number 4, we need to take this love to other people outside of our community, where we can share gifts, where we can sing for them, where we can just cry with them for those who are crying, where we can show that even for those who are facing challenges, that's like those who are in jail or in the hospital, somebody has actually thought about them and is praying for them. Until we meet again, we want to encourage you to continue promoting unity in diversity. If you have questions and comments or suggestions, please write to us or email us at united@ias.edu. Again, the email address is united@ias.edu. Until we meet again, please remain united in diversity.